Hey, it's me. You know how spiritual teachings can sometimes seem confusing or even contradictory? That's totally normal. A lot of people feel that way, especially when they come across teachings that seem to say opposite things. Now, often these so called opposites are actually two sides of the same truth. And that's what I want to talk about today. There are two ideas that you'll hear a lot in spiritual work. One says we need to accept life as it is, especially the parts we can't change, like loss or death. Trying to fight reality only makes us more anxious, more stressed, and less peaceful. Learning to let go and accept what's out of our control is part of growing up, emotionally and spiritually. The other idea says we don't have to suffer at all, that pain and hardship aren't necessary, that we can shape our own lives and create happiness, health, even eternal life, and that all of this is available to us right now. At first, those ideas seem to contradict each other, right? One says, accept life as it is, and the other says, change it. They're not actually opposites. Both are true. The thing that connects them, common thread, is fear. Here's what I mean. If you want joy because you're afraid of being sad, that fear blocks the joy. If you want peace because you're terrified of chaos, you'll stay tense. If you want joy simply because it's beautiful and right, without trying to escape something, you open the door to actually experiencing it. Fear is often what gets in the way of everything we long for: love, health, freedom, connection. The things we fear become more powerful when we run from them. When we face our fear and realize it doesn't need to control us, everything begins to shift. Let's look at one of the biggest fears: death. Most people are scared of dying. Because of that, they also hold back from truly living. The more fully someone lives with presence, joy, and connection, the less they fear death. Because they're not clinging to life out of fear, they're participating in it. They're in the flow. Now, most of us won't totally overcome the fear of death in one lifetime. That's why we return again and again to this human experience. Each time we get a little closer to learning that death isn't an end, it's just a transition. And once we stop being afraid of it, it loses its power over us. The same thing applies to other big fears: fear of losing control, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. We try so hard to hold it all together, control outcomes, to push away uncertainty. All that tightness just makes us more anxious. Real strength comes from softening, from trusting, from letting go. Now, this doesn't mean we give up. Letting go isn't the same as giving up. It means surrendering the part of us that thinks it has to do everything alone. It means stepping into a partnership with the deeper intelligence of life. Call it God or Source or simply the universe. There is nothing weak about surrendering control. It actually allows us to move through life with more grace, more creativity, more alignment. It helps us stop resisting what is and start creating from a place of freedom. Another big fear we all face is the fear of pain. We all want pleasure, love, and beauty, But if our desire for those things is rooted in the fear of not having them, that fear blocks the very thing we long for. When we stop being afraid of the absence of love, we start letting real love in. When we stop fearing pain, we open ourselves to real healing. Facing fear is how we begin to shift everything. It's not about forcing yourself to be fearless. The first step is just noticing the fear, naming it, admitting it gently. I am afraid of being alone. I am afraid I'm not good enough. I'm afraid of failing. That simple act, being honest about our fear, loosens its. What we fear most isn't always the actual experience. It's the unknown. It's the not knowing what's going to happen. But here's the thing. The more we meet our fear head on, the more we discover it's not as scary as we thought. How many times have you worried about something only to find that when it actually happened, it wasn't as bad as you expected? So much of our fear is based on ideas, not truth. And fear blurs our ability to see clearly. It keeps us in the dark. The moment we start exploring what we're afraid of and what we've been avoiding, something amazing happens. We start to see the truth, and that truth sets us free. Even death, which seems like the scariest thing, becomes less frightening when we understand what it really is. People who have passed on often realize, oh, this isn't scary at all. Why was I so afraid? Because most of us are still caught in fear. We can't register the truth of that experience. And we forget. So we come back again and again, slowly learning that there's nothing to fear. Every time you face fear, every time you soften, relax, and choose truth over control, your soul expands. You create more space for love, for joy, for connection, for creation. This is what our path is really about. Not about achieving perfection or avoiding pain. It's about seeing clearly, about stepping out of the old prison of fear, about remembering that we were never really trapped at all. So if you're holding on tightly right now, if you feel stuck or scared or unsure, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Can I look at it with honesty and love? You don't need to fix it all at once. Just begin. That's where everything changes. You are not alone in this journey. We are all learning to let go of fear and come home to the truth. Truth that life is kind, that love is real, and that you are safe to open your heart again. Love you. Connect soon.